Guy here, and welcome to the first episode of my new series, Canadian, here on Edgewater, Saskatchewan map. This map is by South Saskatchewan Modding and BC Bueller Farms, a collaboration due to a lot of really interesting new features that this map offers, including new crops, flax, lentils, and peas, and swathable crops too. That's why we have this particular piece of equipment here. This is the Case IH Swather, which is typically used as a mower on most maps. But on this map, we're going to farm like a Canadian, which is the way I know, or I'm not really know, not that I've done it, but I'm familiar with because I've lived up here in Canada all my life, been around the farming community most of my life, especially as a young lad on my uncle's farm, and so we're going to try to do that fairly closely, at least as much as we can on this map, and have a little bit of fun too. We're going to keep this mostly area specific as much as possible, and let's have a look at some of the equipment. So to give you an idea, we're not starting at the normal farm wherever it was. I think it was up here somewhere. I have chosen this farm here and bought some surrounding land. As you can see, this map is quite interesting due to a lot of the, so this is kind of central Saskatchewan kind of a idea, mid to central Saskatchewan, maybe a little bit of into the northern, but I mean, this is very, very typical of that central type Saskatchewan type topography where you have a lot of little waterway, just drainage in general, kind of swampy, but not really. We'll see. You'll see what I mean when we start get going. I've got a few of my own pieces of equipment here. We've got this New Holland TS100 for a little bit of a yard tractor and some fertilizer spreading and so forth. We got this fantastic old Case IH 9380 power shift, classic type case with a Bourgault all-in-one Bourgault seeder. This is all very kind of typical kind of stuff you would see here. We have a grain truck with a trailer, which is very similar to stuff you would see around a typical farmyard. And these buildings were here when I bought this piece of land. I did get rid of a couple of other things. I have installed my own custom underground silo system. We're going to try that out. I haven't actually used it in a Let's Play before. And we have another little machine shed over here with something some of you might be using right now. It's a Colossus lizard, but it's in versatile colors because I really do kind of want to run versatile on this farm too a little bit, as that's kind of a little bit my family history. And of course we have a swath header or a pickup header on this to pick up the swaths, the crop swaths, and we're going to show all that and try everything out. So what we ended up here with buying these, we have pretty standard crops right now. I think crop types, yeah. So we have, I believe this is wheat and some barley here. So we're going to kind of start off pretty normally, but you can see there's a lot of blue. Blue is flax. A lot of flax on this. We have lentils. Did I say peas? Well, peas are lentils, yes. Field peas, I guess you could call it. Flax, peas, and lentils. Lentils and peas do not swath, but the swathing is extended to wheat, barley, oats, flax, and canola, and apparently doing that will give 20% bonus. So I am running precision farming on this map, and as of right now, I have not I have not analyzed any of these fields, but we do have a crop ready to harvest. And so we're going to jump in our swath there right now. As for our house, this house was here. I put a sleep trigger there, so we got that. Everything else, that's pretty much it to start up with. I didn't cheat in any money. I just sold the original equipment and whatever I had. There are fences, as you can see, but the entrance is pretty decent here. So we're going to drop this down, and hey, we're going to start swathing. But one thing you got to be careful is it will swath some grass in there. So got to be careful on the edge not to pick up too much. Oh, see, like that. Not to pick up too much grass swathing a crop, because that's going to be a problem. So we're going to pretty much have to leave a little bit of the edge of the field, unfortunately, but this is what we're going to do here. And yeah, so this is so reason for swathing. Some of you might wonder, why don't you just straight harvest it? Well, and that is done in some parts of Saskatchewan, depending on the area. Now, typically, it's kind of would be ideal to do that, but it's not always possible, because our growing season is quite short, and depending on the crop, in order to get it off the field, you have to kill it. Basically, kill it to dry it out, so that the combines will be able to get the seeds out of the shells of the plants, etc., etc. Right. So it's not possible if the plant's still growing, or if it's still green. It has to be really really dead. And oh, I picked up more grass. That's a problem. So what do you do when your crop is still a bit green and you want to hurry it up? Well, typically, at least historically, you would do this. You would cut it. You cut it and put it into a swath, and then you have to let it sit for a few days, or however long it takes for it to dry out completely. And once it's completely dried out, then it is ready for the combine to come and to combine it, harvest it. And so that's typically what I've known all my life to be how farming is done. And when I've actually seen straight combining, it's like, what are they doing? So but anyways, that's what we're going to do here. This is the first map on console for Farm Sim 22 that utilizes this combine, or this swathing first, and then using a pickup header. And they have managed to bring it to console for us, so it's actually quite interesting. Plus, this map is, as you can see, these are not the most worker friendly. They're nothing about them is square. There is a lot of maneuvering around all sorts of places, like for instance, and these don't always have water in them. Typically, but it's their drainage, as there is sometimes could be quite a bit of water. And so what we're going to do is, stuff like this, I'm going to fill it in, actually, as much as I can, and try to see here we got some a drainage area where water has drained into, and this is very typical of this type of area, where you have little ditches around, and you have basically kind of direct water into one area and kind of drain it off from other areas in order to make the land you're trying to farm, well, farmable. So we're going to do what we're going to try a few things and do a few things and see what we can do, really. And try to make a go of it with the money we have, and hopefully we'll get a good. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a little tricky. Not picking up the grass on the corners. I might have to. I wonder. I might have to invest in a small combine ahead to and leave these edges a little bit of a way away like this, and then come in there with the yeah, you know, I think that might be a solution, although it might be a little expensive. I don't know what the payback is. Depending on what the price for what is this wheat? What is the price for wheat in China? But not in China here. We're looking at 1100. Oh, Saskatchewan. Yeah, that's just. Well, I don't know if that's north or south of this map, but it is close by. I'm pretty sure that's a train. Is there a train on this? Yeah, I bet you there's a train. I haven't spent a lot of Edgewater grain. Yeah, so I haven't spent a lot of time on this map. This is kind of a adventure for me as it is for you. So about $1,000 per 1,000 liters, it looks like. So we'll see how much we end up with. Oh, what's the yeah, January, best price in January. So that, well, that's also typical. Right, so we are making our way around this this field, as you can see, and it's going to take me a minute to swath it all and try not to get any grass in there, because that, now a little bit of grass in a swath is actually not catastrophic in the real world. Of course, you don't want a lot of it, but there is also the odd weed seeds and other things that end up getting mixed in there, typically, and that usually gets sorted out when it's when you either run it through a cleaner, or when you take it to the elevator, they kind of separate that stuff out. But here it's it doesn't kind of work quite like that exactly, just because of the limitations of the game. So so what this is, so we try to avoid any of that. Right, so this is how it looks. This is not a huge field, but it did take us a little bit of time to get around it, and it's going to take me a little bit of time to finish this off. And like I said, I could probably, well, I don't even know if a worker would. Oops, more grass. Stop it. Will a worker even? No. So unfortunately, I can't even get a worker to swath this field, because it's really kind of not set up like that. So it's all going to have to be done by manual labor, or manuel. But anyways, we will do this, and then we're going to yank out that old combine, and we're going to show you what that all works up, or how that all works. So we'll see in a bit. All right, so we are finally done. Let's have a look at their overhead here, and try to keep it somewhat in a linear fashion to be a little bit easier to pick up. But obviously some areas like over in here are going to be a little bit more labor intensive. Again, no workers were harmed in this. And let's take a look at our, if you see our yield on our left corner, left bottom corner there, let's look at our, let's see here, nitrogen yield. So here we go. Let's get rid of, oops. There we go. Seed rate, yield. There we go. So, as there wasn't any, I don't think any fertilizer or anything like that, it was kind of, so we're kind of dipping into a little bit of a lower yield for this. But it's interesting that mowing it or swathing it already gives us a yield outlook for this. Now, these little green patches, I think, are where I hit a little bit of the grass. And it's kind of, especially here and here. So if we see, well, definitely right here, we've hit some grass. But anyways, let's go back to the farm. I'll probably have to get rid of some of these fences. I did get rid of some fences inside the yard here to make things a little bit more. We're going to have to clean up the yard too. That's going to be another project. And get some of the space in here a little bit more usable. And we're done with the swather for the moment. We're just going to park her right here. And lower that header down on the ground so she don't... typically, as far as I know, or from what I know, you want to release the pressure off the hydraulics, so that's why you put it down on the ground. You don't want all that pressure on those hydraulics with it sitting, not being used. Let's start this puppy up and back out of our shed here. Now I've chosen the, this is basically more or less a base model, except for, as you can see, I got triples on there. I like them so much. The header is going to limit our speed anyways, so having this thing go faster than the 29 miles per hour is not going to be really all that beneficial to me at this point. So let's get going here. Typically now all you need to do is lower it, there we go, and turn it on, and there we go. We're picking up our swath now. We're going to have to lift and tuck here. Oh, let's you can still drop straw, and that's what we're going to do, because we're going to try and pick up the straw. There we go. So we're picking up the swath and we're dropping straw. Yes, it does look exactly like it does. It does look the same, and that's pretty much because, well, it is more or less. The only difference is we've removed the seeds out of the swath, and all that's left is straw. So we're going to have to be a little careful, and I don't think you can re-pick up the straw. At least I tried when I did the first test of this, and we're going to try it again, but I don't think it let me. No, so it recognizes it as straw, and it's not going to let me pick it up, which is fine, because then it lets, so that way we're keeping everything. So as you can see, I'm only doing 6 miles an hour, and actually we're going to just so we don't get things mixed up too much, we're going to just spread our straw out here right now, and so that's how, you know what, we're going to this is going to be a slow process, obviously. It does look like there's a little bit of a different texture, though. Yes, indeed. Look at that. If you look really closely, you can see the heads on the grain. Very nice. So you can still see the heads on the wheat, and over here it's just like chopped straw, which is really what it is once you've sent it through the harvester, or combine as we like to call them here. And let's see, yeah, we didn't pick up any grass, that's good. I'm going to make one round, and I think what I'm going to do to make this a little bit, I'm going to see if, I'm not sure if it's possible, because I've never tried it before, but I don't know if we can windrow this together. So actually going to try that. But first thing I'm going to do is kind of do a once around the block here, get the edges here, and that's going to take a minute. And then I think I'm going to lease a windrower and see if I can get it into a bigger swath, and then that will take less. Yeah, I mean, that's actually not something that's typically done. This is really what they do is because usually the swaths are big enough, and it's enough that the swather can only handle so much product coming into it in real life. But I think I'm going to try that just to expedite things a little bit. And yeah, so I'm going to do this, and then when we come back, I'm going to have a windrower of some type, and we're going to try that out to see if we can windrow this together and get a bigger swath and expedite this process. So we'll see you when we get to that point. All right, so we're just about done our first round, and actually, as much as I don't like doing in-cab work, this actually is the best view for me, mostly because the swath is right in front of you, and all you need to do is keep it centered, and you're on your way. So it's actually very interesting that I've actually preferred this view when picking up swaths. And we're just going to grab that, and we're going to be ready for our next one. Let's just lift that and turn that off for the moment. Oh, we can probably pick some of this up. The little bit we have here, there we go. And turn that off. And because looking at it this way, it's kind of hard to see actually directly in front of it. There isn't really a really great view, and this is probably the best view. Now, we did have a full tank. We got 15,000 liters here, so we might as well go and dump this into our silo right away. And driving on the field, yeah, some do, some don't. I'm doing it right now because I just don't have a lot of cash to run a chaser bin or a auger wagon to do it as most farmers would. However, let's see here. Should be able to. There we go. Dump that into our underground silo. And let's pull this up. There we go. Nice. Now, like I said, I'm going to see if we can windrow those. Oh, we got a bunch of deer in here. Whoa, I'm going to need to get a dog to keep these deer away. Right, so I'm gonna go do that. Grab a windrower and see if it's actually even gonna work. So here we are. I've leased this thing because this is the trailed lifter by Hispano, and I got a big one. Now, funny thing is, well, let's get it unfolded first here and see if this even just works or if I'm wasting my time and effort. But I want to know if this is going to be a huge. It's going to get nice and big and wide and get a nice big swath so that we can expedite this this process here. And there we go, nice and large. Turn it on here, and oh yes, I was afraid of that. All right, so you cannot windrow them together. All right. Well, at least I know now. You know what? We're going to leave that because I'm going to start dropping straw now, since I know that it won't pick up the straw. So, yes, right. Is this? Yeah, it's a different color. Notice you can kind of tell it's a different color too. So it's a little bit easier to once we drop our. So, anyways, funny thing is, I guess a lot of the content creators are doing let's plays on this map just because it's new and it's interesting and exciting. And yeah, let's turn our, there we go. And funny thing is, I just popped on DJ Goham. He's doing a series on Edgewater, Saskatchewan as well. Really, is it? Come on, drop a swath, please, of straw. I would like that. There we go. And he just happens to be using a lot of the same things I am. Now, that's just purely coincidental, as I chose all this before. I don't have a lot of time to watch other YouTubers' Let's Play series anymore. But since I seen that he was on this map, I was just curious to see what he was using. And yeah, he apparently has, well... I'm going to be a little bit... There is the saying, great minds think alike. Now, maybe it's just farm simulator minds think alike, but it just does seem to be that we're ended up using a lot of, at least initially, with the not the harvester. He has a Kloss harvester, actually, at the North American version Kloss harvester instead of this. And of course, he's on PC. I am not on PC. This is on PS5 console. So there is going to be some differences there, but he is using that Mack truck, the grain truck that I am. Funny enough, oddly enough, but I think that actually that's about it. But he also is having a problem with the grass getting picked up, or not, well, swathed at the edge. I did notice that. Oh, let's go back inside here. So anyways, just thought I'd mention that. And so now we're yeah, we've got to do this kind of the old-fashioned way. We can't windrow it together, but we'll be able to windrow the straw together. And I thought maybe I'll just keep that. We'll collect the straw this time and just sell it. But that's what I'm going to be doing for the next little while, and we'll see what we end up with for crop, whether we got to go ahead and sell it. Although we still have $260,000, so that's not bad. It'll be enough for us to, we're going to have to soil sample our fields and then decide what we're going to plant. We're probably going to go with, try and flax. And flax, if you don't know, flax, ooh, I'm getting stuck here or something. Flax, when in bloom, has beautiful, pretty blue flowers. And I do know in summertime when we're driving through the country and we're looking, you can spot a flax field in spring, summer, I guess early summer, and it's beautiful. It's like a prairie sea of blue, especially if there's a bit of a breeze. Very beautiful. So hopefully we get something like that, and I'll be sure to show what our flax, what is going on here? I am stuck on something. Ooh. Okay. Trees, I hate them. They're gonna be gone soon. Right, okay, so I'm going to be occupied doing this for quite some time. So we will catch back up with you when I'm done this and see what we end up for crop. Oh, by the way, did I mention? It said the description for this map says if you swath and harvest this way, you get a 20% bonus for yield. So I'm not sure how I could. That's going to be hard to kind of test under the current situation with this crop, because this crop, the field wasn't soil sampled, it wasn't probably fertilized, it probably needs lime and all that kind of thing. So this initial crop is going to not be a good baseline, and we're going to have to look at probably we're going to have to do all that, plant this field with I think flax is going to be our next crop. Although, yeah, I don't know. We're going to see. But at some point, I think I'm going to try to see the difference between swathing and picking it up, and just go ahead and straight combining, and see if we get what kind of difference we have in yield. Is it worth it? We will find out. So we'll see you in a bit when I'm done this, and we're going to see what we end up for crop this time around, and we're going to swath up those the straw and decide what to do with it then. All right, so we're done. Oh yes, you want to know. Inquiring minds want to know how much we... Oh, that's because the silo's over here. 47,000 liters of wheat, so me. Anyways, I have leased the TARDIS forage wagon, and just because I don't know if it's worth me buying all this stuff, how much money we're going to make with wheat or with straw, at least just to sell it. So we're just going to do this, and it seems to be working pretty good actually. And I'm just going to go ahead and sell it, and hopefully I'll make back the money that I paid to lease this equipment. And yeah, so this seems to work really good. I'm not going to bale it. Baling straw means doing a whole bunch of other stuff, so not really interested in doing that so much. And this seems to be working good, and we'll just sell it. And this case is pulling this thing along really nice. This thing wasn't too expensive to buy either, and you could spec it up to 600 horsepower. So that's the only downside with this tractor, is it doesn't have a 3-point link, and it really doesn't. There really isn't any, let's say, really good way to put one on there. So it kind of limits it, and it doesn't have 3-point link on the front either. So, but it does have the Asaria Pro crop sensor that I put on it. So it will come in handy for that when that time comes. And we'll see. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so here we go. Picking up straw. This is probably the last time I'm going to do anything with straw, really, as you've seen me do this, and this isn't something really new. So I thought I'd just see what we could do with it this one time, and that's why I kind of leased them all. I think I'm just going to go ahead and just not drop straw anymore. Really, because the whole baling with the bale limit on console. So again, I'm on PlayStation 5. This is console. So there's a lot of things I can do, or we can do on console now, and there's a lot of things we can't. So, for example, the swather pickup, well, it's stuck at 6 miles per hour. I can't change that, and that might become a factor going. Well, I'm still going to be doing that, but at some point, I'm going to want to go faster, and that won't let me. So I might actually, what I might do is for the next crop, I might just do part of it as swath and pretend that, the rest of it was good to go, and we just straight combined it, the rest of it. So I think that's kind of my thoughts, just to kind of expedite the process a little bit. It is really neat that we have that option to swath, and it does give you a better yield. So I am kind of trading off the better yield for speed. But anyways, as many of you know, I do like going fast. So fast on console is somewhat elusive sometimes. But anyways, yeah. Oh, looks like there are a little bits and no, that's straw. Why I didn't pick up straw? It's straw. Pick it up. No? Oh, there it is. Okay, so it did. Right. And there we go. That's our first episode. I'm probably going to prep this field and get it all ready to go. Yeah, get it soil sampled and all that good stuff, lime, etc., etc., things that you've seen many times before. And our fields out yonder are going to be ready to harvest fairly soon, and then we will come back, and our next episode is going to be planting flax in this field, I do believe. That's the plan. So there you go. Thank you all for watching. That's the first episode here on Edgewater, Saskatchewan on console. I'm Looney Farm Guy. Thank you all for watching, and remember, it's only a game, so till next time, bye for now.